This is the jungle tier list era for Rengar. Anyways, the next part is in part to show off a few new splash arts and the fact that I will be making an AMA quite soon, and a contest, an art contest in fact, for a certain champion that doesn't actually exist in the game. Also, I need to hire a new person to make a new intro. So, if you know anybody, tell me, because I could use a new intro, especially considering the gaps in the lettering of the old one are kind of bad. Anyways, first thing to mention is that he wasn't actually changed anywhere in the tier list, but Jarvan, also that new Jarvan splash art is pretty awesome. Jarvan will be used now as a sort of indicator of you gotta beat this guy in order to be on the highest points of tier 1 all around. Like, I've always mentioned that he's one of the most all around, all good, best champions. He doesn't excel at so many things, he excels at everything, but not overly so compared to other junglers. But he's got such an impressively, diverse kit that it helps him edge out the other junglers. His Genki may not be as clear cut as Nautilus, but he's got the versatility in the map jumps and all that stuff that Nautilus doesn't have, etc., sort of stuff like that. So he's going to be used as a benchmark. Next one to talk about is Garen. Garen, he's not going to be a jungler that you'll actually use competitively or anything as far as I can see, but it's kind of funny that he went from being one of the most garbage junglers, even for niche standards, to being an actually competent, passable jungle with that change. He really, really mows down the camps. Just press E and they just drop. Including the buff camps, he just tears them to pieces. It's kind of funny to the sense that I actually use him and I actually found it really fun. So I'll probably use him for those moments, for those games where I'm just I don't really want to try super, super hard. Next one, people have been asking is Katarina. No, she's crap. She's a weaker jungle Garen, which is already not the best jungle in the game. It's okay. So don't use Katarina. Sure, she might get quote-unquote faster at a certain few levels, level 5 and on, but most other junglers will also be getting really fast at that point and even faster, and they won't have all that multitude of issues that she has. She doesn't even have any CC, so she's crap in the jungle. Don't use her and feel miserable about that. Next one is, Gragas. I'm boosted him up to tier 2 because after seeing him more in mid, I saw the crazy builds some people have been trying, I'm that could actually work in the jungle. I could see you getting Lucky Pick, Heart of Gold, Philosopher's Stone, and then keep continuously farming until you get AP items. So AP jungle Gragas can actually exist. However, you'll still never be as good as the pure laner. There'll still be issues with your runes and masteries. But the fact is, Gragas is still is starting to become a lot more, used for his utility and unkillability. So his jungling may actually be justified at this point now, seeing as all that stuff he doesn't lose it when he's in the jungle. Though he doesn't lose his he does lose his lane dominance. In any case, if all else fails, just go support type Gragas, carrying cooldown reductions and making your overpowered ult work for you. Dueling, he still doesn't have it. Speed wise, he's average. Sustain, he's pretty good at that, and plus his AD steroid's awesome. So I think he's gonna be used, not competitively, of course. Anyways, Chogath. Now that Q change, while it seems minor to some people, is pretty huge for Chogath players. The Q was so inconsistent, you would think you would have enough just to clip a person, but no. Now it's consistent. Now you can actually time it just to clip them. Clipping means you hit them on the very edge. And Chogath's ganking has always been about the clip. Why? Because an average Chogath gank isn't just start off with Q and then watch them walk away. No, it's you walk up to them and yell at them. When you use your silence on them, they'll either have to use their escape to avoid the silence, and this is something that characters with multiple escapes will try to use, or they'll eat the silence and then you hit them with Q and then you hope you can kill them within the time span before they get to use all their escapes. So Chogath's ganking isn't as bad as people make it out to be. His issue mostly just comes from being killed Because once he dies, it kind of sets him back a lot because he's not really building up any health because his ultimate. That being said, he's one of the fastest junglers. I would bet a lot of people don't actually know that, and they'll say contrary. Nunu is Satan incarnate. I'm pretty sure some people have started banning him. I certainly keep asking my team to ban him because I don't want to play him and I don't want to fight him. And honestly, there's not much to say about the fact about Nunu right now, except that he's Satan, and God help you if you're fighting him. The only thing I can suggest is you use a champion that can resist him, and most of those are mana-less champions and good duelists. And not only that they have skill shots, because he's gonna scamper off and try to kite your ass. So you gotta stick on him and kill him. Probably one of the best counters to Nunu is Lee Sin. Because Lee Sin is already one of the best duelists in the game. If he gets snowballed, he'll just Q in his face or whatever. He has a lot of tools to keep up with Nunu and beat him to death. And of course, Nunu can fight on 1v1. That being said, it's still basically a battle of attrition, and Nunu is just gonna get on your nerves. So Nunu getting nerfed? I don't think so. I think they'll nerf his other aspects like Bloodlust and Snowball, not his counter jungling. Anyways, Hecarim. I finally learned how to use him instead of using my old build. I tried out a new one using Armor Pen Runes, Snow Movement Speed Quints, and I realized, holy crap, this actually helps me kill a lot of people. Like the same Trundle stuff. It's like where I mixed it up and thought, maybe I should just try Armor Pen Runes, and yeah, they make a world of difference. That being said, I stopped focusing on side ganks as well, and I focused more on direct lane ganks. And those work out a lot better. A lane gank is where you just go right down through the lane and jump at them and blow all your CC and just kill them. That works out a lot better than side ganks. That works really well. They won't expect it most of the time because, of course, you're not going to expect a guy to bail down through the middle of the lane. So they won't be in the best positioning. But once they see you, they're going to try to escape. But your mobility is so extreme, you'll likely catch up to them. And with your ultimate, you're going to catch them. So it's going to get just escapes at least. And if they don't have escapes, it's going to be a kill. And he snowballs beyond recognition. Like, holy crap, it's just impossible. He just will not die if he gets fed. Like, his W is monstrous. And the biggest issue is, I don't know in what team comp he actually makes sense. That being said, Rengar's next, and I'll just say he's utter crap. And it's so disappointing. Like, he was already not that great in the PvE, but right here, man, it's just so sad how bad he is. Now, like, they nerfed a few things about him, and they made him slower too. So I don't know what the hell is up with Rengar. His ultimate is lackluster and ain't really gonna help anything. He doesn't do a lot of damage unless they're standing still and fighting back. His chasing is bad. If you use his W, then you already lose out on chasing time there. And his E has one of the most atrocious ranges for anything. So he can't gank anything. He's utterly useless in my opinion so far. If anything, I'll compare him to a Wukong, a much weaker Wukong. And Jungle Wukong is at the bottom of tier 2 just to sort of like declare him as the most average jungler in the game. So, that said, Rengar is a below average jungler. And that's depressing.